What's up, everybody? So this is FPL Talk here um, for another video for Game Week 7. So this video, just making predictions for all the games and stuff like that. Not really much about fantasy. I'm just gonna be obviously reviewing my team, but I'm gonna make one more video for tips for Game Week 7, which is gonna be tomorrow. I might do a live stream. I might think about it, but a video is gonna come tomorrow related to fantasy. But this video is gonna be predictions about the fixtures of Game Week 7. So let's get right into it. Obviously, an early kickoff, West Ham, Man United. And look, this is a really tricky game, I think. Man United, losing midweek to Derby. West Ham beating another team 8-0. I forgot his name, but they won 8-0, which is ridiculous. So this is a really tricky game. So, West Ham with the poor start to the season. And United too, obviously. Obviously when they lost 3-0 to Spurs, then I was like, you know what, this is going to be a pretty long season for Mourinho. He might even get sacked, but he won 2 on the trot. And but since then, it's been really inconsistent for Man United. The defense is not there. It's just, for me, I actually think West Ham could nick something here. I think West Ham's going to win 2-1. Next game, moving on, Arsenal-Watford. That's a really good game, in my opinion. Pretty tricky game for both teams, I think. Watford, great start to their season. Arsenal, 2 losses in a row, but then for me, they're game by game, they're stepping up their game. And I think for Arsenal, it's just slowly but surely. But I expect an Arsenal win here too. I think Arsenal, you know, usually what they do is they're off to a slow start, and when it's halftime, it's usually like it's 0-0 or 1-1. But at the end of the game, it's usually an Arsenal win. That's how they've been playing, a slow start but a really good finish. Same thing against Everton. They were really poor in the first half. I actually thought Everton were gonna win, but Lacazette with a brilliant goal, and I think it's gonna be something similar here. I think Arsenal's gonna win this 2-1 as well. I think Aubameyang could get a brace here. Next up is Everton Fulham. I think it's a pretty good game. I think for Everton, home game, I think they've been playing pretty well this season. They've just been unlucky with the results for me. Like if you look against Arsenal, I think they were pretty good. Lacazette's goal and then an offside goal from Aubameyang just ruined everything. But I think this is a good fixture for Everton to get their first clean sheet. Fulham, not so good, but again, some games they are looking pretty good. Mitrovic causing teams problems. But I think Everton could keep the clean sheet here, and I think Everton's going to win 2-0 here. Next up, I think this is probably the best game when it comes to fantasy, but it's probably going to be the easiest game for Spurs. I think Huddersfield last in the league. 99% I think they're going down. They still haven't scored at home, so I would look to get Trippier in when it comes to fantasy. With set pieces as well, and I think this is the game where Spurs can kick off their season. We know they had a good start to the season, then that defeat to Liverpool, Watford. That defeat to Watford was just hard. I'm a Spurs fan. That was hard to watch. Then that game against Inter Milan, I think. And since then, we beat Brighton too. We beat Brighton and Watford during midweek. But those games where like I didn't feel like we deserved to win. Like I felt like the other teams deserved something out of the game too. Like it wasn't the best performance by Spurs, but we still, when you look at the qualities in the teams, the difference between the quality, I think Spurs kind of deserved it at the end. But this won't get much easier for Spurs in this week and next week. I think this should be a very easy game for Spurs. I still think Spurs are going to concede. I think, not so sure about the back. Huddersfield, they probably will get their goal at home, their first goal at home this season. But I think it's going to be a 3-1 win to Spurs. And I think this is the game where Harry Kane could, get a season underway. I think Harry Kane could get a brace or potentially a hat-trick. A 3-1 win for Spurs. Next game, again, a pretty simple one, I think, for Man City, home game against Brighton. Brighton have been looking good this season. At home, I think they've been looking good. They've been causing teams problems. They caused Spurs problems, beat Man United, and the likes of Glenn Murray, they could, he could cause City problems, but the fact that City's home, I don't think it's going to get much easier for City. I think Brian could get a goal. I think Glenn Murray was probably going to get a goal, but I think City, a 4-1 win for Man City. I think Aguero could get a couple, he's having a decent season, Aguero. Bernardo Silva is picking up, David Silva's there. I think Sane, if Sane starts, he could get a goal too. Next up, Newcastle Leicester. Not really much to discuss about this game. Newcastle, a pretty slow start to the season, but I have to say the fixtures were really, really tough in the beginning. Leicester City, on the other hand, I think they've been having a pretty decent season. They've been losing games, but again, they've been winning games. So I think this could be a draw here. I think it's going to be a 1-1 game. I think Vardy would get a goal, and Newcastle, at home at St James's Park. I don't think they're going to lose. I think it's going to be a 1-1. I think it's going to be a draw. Next up, Wolves against the Saints. Wolves, fantastic season for me. I mean, great addition to the Premier League. I think they have a very good unit at the back. I think they have a decent striker in Raul Jimenez, good midfield. Ruben Neves, decent player they got there. Good chemistry. A lot of Portuguese players, but Southampton, I mean, Southampton are kind of inconsistent for me. I don't know. I mean, they have Danny Ings back for this game. Obviously, he couldn't play against Liverpool because he was on loan from Liverpool, but I think it's going to be another draw here. I think it's going to be 1-1. I know Wolves have a decent defense, but I don't think they're going to keep another clean sheet. But I know I have a feeling they're probably going to get a point. I kind of know like this game. I think Wolves are going to do pretty well this season, and I think it's probably going to be a draw here. Next up, game of the weekend, Chelsea Liverpool. I mean, that midweek game was fantastic. That goal by Eden Hazard, I think, was. I mean, I'm a Spurs fan, and I'm not a big Chelsea. Like, obviously, when you're a Spurs fan, you got problems against Chelsea, Arsenal, it's like all the London clubs. But I have to say, Eden Hazard is something else. Like that goal against Liverpool, that solo goal, the way he megged Moreno, and then that finish, that was insane. But over here, I think it's gonna be a draw. I think it's gonna be 2-2 draw. I think it's gonna be goal scoring draw. I think Hazard could get another goal. I think Mane could get a goal. I still think Salah is not gonna get a goal. I don't know. This season, last season he was a different player last season. But if you look at the numbers, he's kind of the same. But I don't know. He's not getting the goals. He's not looking as sharp. He's not finishing the chances he finished last season. But I think it's gonna be a draw, 2-2 draw. I think it's gonna be a pretty entertaining game if you're neutral. Next up, Cardiff Burnley. I mean, you could say this is kind of a boring game. I don't think many people are gonna watch it unless you're a Cardiff or Burnley fan. But I think Cardiff again, they're kind of in a similar situation as Huddersfield, but they're at home. I mean, we've at times we see them play decent football, but when it comes to attack, they just don't have the quality up there for me. And then at the back, you have to be perfect if you don't have the quality up front. But for me, Burnley, 4-0 against Bournemouth. I think they should comfortably win this 2-1 or maybe 3-1 or maybe even could get a clean sheet. But I think Burnley, they're gonna play well. Their season, they're not in the Europa League. No more Thursday night football. I think it's gonna be a comfortable 2-1 win for Burnley. Last game of the week, a Monday night game, Bournemouth Palace. It's going to be a pretty entertaining game for me. This is a really, really good game for me. Bournemouth playing very attacking football. Palace, really defensive team. So let's see how this turns out. I mean, it's going to be a pretty good game. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a draw. I know Palace have been keeping clean sheets, 2 clean sheets in a row against Newcastle as well. And Bournemouth have been scoring a lot of goals, but they came off to a 4-0 defeat. I think it's going to be a 1-1 game. I think Josh King could get a goal here, but I think it's going to be another draw here. So that is it for the predictions. When it comes to fantasy, let me just do a quick roundup of my team. I've done this in my last videos, but let me just, for the new users, just go through my team real quick. On goal, I have Ederson. Defense, Trippier, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw. I mean, I'm still confused whether I should start Shaw or Bennett because I feel like West Ham are going to beat United. I'm really confused about this. This could change tomorrow. I'm not sure. So this is my defense. So far, it's going to stay like this. Midfield, Hazard, Madison, Mane, Walcott. I transferred Son now for Mane this week for my free transfer. I had 2 million in the bank. When it comes to the strikers, I have Jimenez, Aubameyang, and Harry Kane up top, and he's going to be my captain for this week. So please subscribe. Just let's get the channel growing. Leave a comment below of what you think I can improve. I mean, I've seen comments, of my audio and stuff. Maybe show my face. I'm working on that. Maybe from next week, for the videos about Game Week 8, I might change all this, new format, new everything. But for this week, the video tomorrow is kind of going to be the similar format, But like the video, let friends know about this. join my league. The code's gonna be in the description. And yep, that's it. That's it for today. And if you have any questions, just comment below. I'm mostly answering everything. And yep, peace.